Spoiler alert for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Seth Rogen's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reminded me a lot of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, but instead of a knockoff copy with some elements of the same story, it was a completely different movie. Some cons. Seth Rogen's style of comedy is so, let's just say, unique that you could obviously tell where he was like, oh yeah, that's funny, let's put it in there like 4 or 5 times. For example, that milking joke was funny once or twice, but then after that, it just kind of like, it felt like they were reusing it. It also had a very decent plot up until the finale sequence. It was unique to an extent until they put the giant Godzilla trying to destroy New York. Also, after consulting a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle semi-expert, the story did not match up with the lore of other movies, shows, comic books, etc. So they basically made their own universe and lore, which is fine if it works, and it did. But if you're looking for a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie that is strictly lore based, like that follows the comic books and the movies and shows, then this is not the show for you. Now for the pros. All of the other Turtles movies picked up when the Turtles were adults. I liked how this movie explored their origins and how they were still learning how to adapt in New York City. I also really liked the animation style. Like I said in the beginning, it reminds me of a lot of the Spider-Verse movies. One example of this was the drone shot in the sewers that faded into the title card at the beginning. I just thought that was so unique. Little things really make or break a movie, and this movie's little things were successfully executed. For example, when Donnie started recording on his phone, the whole screen shook, just like if it were being recorded on an actual phone. Another little thing was when we saw the baby turtles getting raised by Splinter. They weren't all the same turtle faces. They all had a different head, so that way you could tell which one is which. The first fight scene was really cool because we got to experience the shock with the turtles in that moment. Like, oh my god, I just punched that guy. No way. That's so cool. A good soundtrack keeps popping up in these reviews, and I think that's really a sign of a good movie. And this one had an amazing soundtrack, if you couldn't get that. Jackie Chan as Splinter was the best part of the movie, in my opinion. I think the funniest lines came out of his mouth 90% of the time. Paul Rudd and Ice Cube were also amazing as villains. In all honesty, all mutants in this movie were pretty funny. Finally, I liked how they ended the movie with the Turtles taking off their masks, finally being accepted by society. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm super excited for the Shredder setup at the end of the movie. Now for some reviews. Braxton gave it an 8 out of 10, Peter gave it a 9 out of 10, Tyler gave it a 10 out of 10. And I'm going to give it an 8.7 out of 10 or an 87 out of 100. Going into the movie, I was not expecting to give it that high of a score, but it really surprised me at how good of a movie it actually was. Next movie I'm going to be reviewing is the last film of a universe before a huge reboot.